Today, New Zealand's home prices continue to slide. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, world latest posts covering finance and problem news with a distinctively Australian flavour. Well, the REINZ has released their report for August 2022 today, and it's a story of continued weakness across the housing market in New Zealand, which, of course, is unsurprising given the significant cash rate hikes imposed by the Reserve Bank there. So today we're going to look at the data and also highlight how the story is still being spun by the industry to try and turn a profoundly negative story positive. Well, good luck with that, as the OCR is lifting further ahead, of course. They report that across New Zealand, median prices for residential property, excluding sections, decreased 5.9% annually, from $850,000 in August 2021 to $800,000 in August 2022. Month on month, that represents a 1.2% decrease from $810,000 in July. The season-adjusted figures showed a 2.1% decrease in the median price as we moved from July to August, suggesting weaker performance than expected. The median residential property price for New Zealand, excluding Auckland, remained unchanged compared to last year at $700,000. That was a month-on-month decrease of 2.8% from $720,000. But of course, a better way to report that is all gains from the past year have now been extinguished. But of course, they wouldn't say that, would they? 4 regions had an annual decrease in the median price in August 2022. Auckland's median price decreased 8.3% compared to August last year, down from $1.2 million to $1.1 million. 6 of Auckland's 7 territorial authorities had a negative annual median price movement in August, down 13.4%, while Waikato had the greatest decrease, followed by Auckland City, where the median price was down 12.3%. In Wellington, the median price was down 9.3% annually, from $860,000 to $780,000 in August 2022. And 7 of the region's 8 TAs had negative annual median price movements. Carterton saw the median price decrease 25.5%, while Wellington City was down 21.8%, and the Manawatu-Wanganui region was down 6.6%, from $610,000 to $570,000, and Northland saw a decrease in the median price of 1.2%, from $650,000 to $642,000. All other regions saw annual increases in median price. West Coast recorded the greatest percentage increase in the median price, up 25%, from $280,000 to $350,000, and the median price in Marlborough increased 14.5%, from $585,000 to $670,000, and Gisborne saw the median price increase 13.2%, from $500,000 to $566,000. Jen Baird, the chief executive at REINZ, said, despite the median property price easing across the country and supply increasing, sales activity remains subdued. So any positive aspects from buyers are being offset by higher mortgage rates as rising interest rates and concern around inflation continue to put the brakes on for many potential buyers. But always looking for the silver lining, she went on to say that August tends to be a quieter month. As we move into the warmer months, we expect to see a usual spring lift. Some real estate agents are reporting an increase in open home attendance. And while owner-occupiers remain a dominant force in the market, first-home buyers are beginning to re-emerge. As sellers adjust their expectations to meet the market, now is a great time to consider upsizing or downsizing. Although affordability remains a challenge, the relaxing of the Credit Contracts and Consumer Finance Act and the opportunity to negotiate are attracting savvy first-home buyers. Now, across New Zealand, the number of residential property sales decreased annually by 18.3%, from 5,983 in August 21 to 4,891 in August 2022. Month on month, there was an increase of 1.9%. The sales count for New Zealand, excluding Auckland, decreased 4.2% annually, from 3,565 to 3,414, and there was a 2.5% increase compared to July 2022. Now, of course, on August the 17th, 2021, New Zealand went into a COVID-19 level 4 lockdown, which impacted annual comparisons. Several regions saw an annual increase in sales activity. Gisborne had the most significant increase, up 72.7% from 22 in August 21 to 38. Those with the greatest annual percentage decrease were Auckland, which decreased 38.9% annually from 2,418 to 1,477. Marlborough, which decreased 30% from 60 to 42. Waikato, which decreased 18.1% annually from 568 to 465. West Coast, which decreased 15% annually from 40 to 34. And she said, while affordability and access to finance remains an issue for many, these factors are compounded by rises in mortgage rates, recession fears, and high inflation, which are also curtailing activity. Vendors are increasingly realistic with their asking prices. However, demand remains dampened due to mortgage rates and continued affordability concerns. Once again, seeking a silver lining, Baird said agents across the country are reporting that whilst owner-occupiers continue to dominate the market, first home buyers are returning, yay, indicating there is a pool of interested buyers there. The REINZ Home Price Index for New Zealand, which measures the changing value of residential property nationwide, showed an annual decrease of 5.8%, from 3,997 in August 21 to 3,765, down 12% from its peak of November 2021. For New Zealand, excluding Auckland, the HPI decreased 3.2% annually, from 4,030 in August 21 to 3,902 in August 2022. 5 of the 12 regions had a negative HPI movement, with the Bay of Plenty joining Auckland, Manawatu and Wanganui, Gisborne and Hawke's Bay, and Wellington in negative annual movements. Auckland saw an annual decrease on the house price index of 9.5%, from 3,954 to 3,577. Wellington was down 17.1% on the index compared to August last year, from 4,218 to 3,497. That's the third largest annual drop in the HPI of all regions since records began. Wellington has now ranked bottom 2 of all regions on the HPI for 10 consecutive months. Northland topped the index, up 7.9% compared to last year. Taranaki recorded an annual increase of 5.9%, ranking second on the index. And across New Zealand, the median number of days to sell, the DTS, a property in August was 49, up 18 days compared to August 2021. And for New Zealand, excluding Auckland, the DTS increased 19 days to 49. With a median DTS of 36, Canterbury had the lowest median DTS of all regions and saw an annual decrease of 8 days compared to lockdown-impacted August 21. All other regions had a median DTS of over 40 days. Nelson had the highest median DTS of 63, followed by Wellington and the Bay of Plenty, both at 59. Properties are staying on the market for longer. So enlisting a trusted real estate professional to effectively market your property so it stands out and attracts buyer interest is vital to achieving a successful outcome, Baird said, talking her book once again. Inventory levels continue to trend upward and listings are down. The total number of properties available for sale across New Zealand increased by 107.7% annually, from 12,249 in August 21 to 25,441. For New Zealand, excluding Auckland, inventory increased 130.4%, from 6,595 to 15,196. And all regions bar Southland saw inventory levels increase by 50% or more in August 22 compared to the same period last year. Southland saw an annual increase of just 47%. 9 regions had over twice the inventory they recorded in August last year, and for 9 consecutive months, Wellington and Manawatu and Wanganui had over twice the inventory recorded in the same month the year prior, up 181.6% and 145.6% respectively in August 2022 compared to August 21. Nelson had the largest percentage increase in inventory, up 194.3%. Hawke's Bay was up 171.7%. The Bay of Plenty was up 170.2%. And Waikato saw inventory rise by 169%. Listings were up 15.2% across New Zealand in August 2022 compared to the same period last year, while New Zealand, excluding Auckland, saw an annual increase of 21.3%. Bay of Plenty saw the greatest annual increase, up 62%, while the greatest annual decrease was in Marlborough, down 37.5%. The number of listings in August 21 was impacted by the COVID-19 lockdown, of course. The number of available properties for sale has continued to increase since the end of 2021, primarily because stock is staying on the market longer. The median days to sell a property nationally is now 49 days, up 18 days compared to the same time last year. The number of homes for sale in August increased 107.7% annually, while the number of new listings increased 15.2% compared to August 21. More stock on the market has lessened the urgency to buy. Buyers have more time to shop around and undertake due diligence, and in the current market feel more confident to negotiate on price. Some will be vendors who do not need to sell are choosing not to, anticipating a more favourable market. We're now reaching a point where would-be sellers are hesitant to list their homes, the REINZ said, and those who do are increasingly pricing to meet the market. Sales by auction remained subdued. Nationally, 461 properties sold by auction in 2022, representing 9.4% of overall sales compared to 25.4% in August 21. New Zealand, excluding Auckland, saw 252 properties sold by Auckland. That's 7.4% of overall sales in August 22 compared to 16.2% the year prior. Auctions represented 14.2%, just a 209, of sales in Auckland, down from 38.9% in August 21. That's the lowest representation of sales by auction in the region since May 2020. Gisborne saw 26.3% of properties sold by auction. That's the highest percentage of sales by auction of all regions, followed by Canterbury, which was at 18.9% of properties sold by auction. Typical, of course, of the real estate sector, she's pushing auctions over private sales, despite the higher costs, and as I've discussed before, vendors, of course, pay for the marketing, which provides a nice cash flow to agents short on sales. So, of course, they would advocate the auction route. Auctions, she said, are a great way to see the current market in action. They provide a fixed date and a transparent sales process. In the current market, those choosing to sell by auction are serious sellers, not just there to test the market. Where you have a genuine buyer and seller in the room, properties are selling. And vendors, she said, are adjusting price expectations to meet the market as it now is. However, buyers remain cautious. This means we're hearing of a growing number of properties passing in and go to post-auction negotiations as buyers hesitate in the auction room. So my takeout from this is the market is slowing continually and broadly. There are more properties listing, there is less sales, and prices are sliding further, and of course the cash rate will go higher ahead. But of course, the real estate sector is bravely spruiking as best they can to try and persuade people to list their properties, meet the market, and take them to the auctions. Bottom line is this: weak markets in New Zealand will continue for some time, prices will continue to fall, and this is an object lesson also, I think, for us here in Australia, because the same trends are beginning to emerge here now. We're probably 6 months behind New Zealand. We started lifting rates a lot later, of course, and the real estate sector here is still spruiking like mad. But the same trends are there below the waterline. Now, if you're buying your home in Sydney's contentious market, you don't need to stand alone. This is the time you need to have Edwin Almeida from Ribbon Property Consultants standing alongside you. Buying a property is both challenging and adversarial. The vendor has a professional on their side. Emotions run high, price discovery and price transparency are hard to find, and then there's the wasted time and financial investments that you make. Edwin understands your needs, so why not engage a licensed professional to stand alongside you? With RPC, you know you have experience, knowledge, and master negotiators looking after your best interests. So shoot Ribbon an email at info@ribbonproperty.com.au, and if you use the promo code DFAWTW/Martin, you can get a 10% discount offer. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.